A whole lot of players trying to vie for the last spots to get into the bracket match. And Demeran, I think it's about time. I think we're inching pretty close. Winner go home, Zardia versus Bismarck.
Yeah, absolutely. So just as for some party comp work, Czar is running the standardized rainbow mages, right? One red, one white, one black, doesn't want to get locked out of anything. Bismarck has decided to go with the very popular double red with the white mage, which is something I know I've taken some preference to at this point. Gives you a little bit more staying power, and you're not going to lock out of black magic spells until level 5 anyhow. So your options are good, and they abound at that point.
Yeah, I am a double red mage guy as well. Czar continues his strategy right off the bat. He heads directly to the King of Canaria for the free item. He gets a little bit of information. The king has given us the canoe.
Alright, so we are looking at a seed where we're going to make the loop to the left once we are wrapping up here. I saw Invis 2 and Cure 4 at level 1. Can we confirm that that's what we've got here?
Life 2 in the original harm slot is going to be locked to the white mage and the white wizard. As far as damage, Lightning 3. Level 1 black magic, I think that's going to get a lot of use, Demeran.
Yeah, absolutely. Life 2 and Cure 4 are both in lockout spots. Cure 4 will eventually be Red Wizard learnable, but it is going to get it's going to be class change locked. Yeah, Lightning 3 is a sweeper I have a high preference for early on. Lit 3 giving you a lot of options on the rivers once you do get that canoe. Blasting through Caribs is a good strategy.
Bismarck looks like he's making his way towards the Temple of Fiends. Right now, Czar's going to take a fight, get a couple bucks. He's heading back to Canaria. Imps have Gaze. It's a skill. We don't know if they've got anything quite behind that. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't.
Alright, so Bismarck bails out of that first map, that first one, and now ends up fighting a spider. Czar loads up on spells, which is always a good call. Getting those early spells is really important. First shop check, though, yields a crown for 44,000 gold.
Ooh, an early crown is available. Early crown available seeds throughout these Swiss matches have indicated a decently high frequency of a ship/TNT potentially required seed. We might be in for some fun here, Demeran.
We shall see, certainly. Bismarck is getting a little bit clogged up by a bone encounter, while Imps are just swinging away at Zardia at this point, while they both make their way back into the Temple of Fiends to start this off.
Looks like a pretty front-loaded encounter table from what I've seen from Bismarck's trip to the Temple of Fiends, and now Czar's starting to get it as well. So it's going to be tough to use that to manipulate. Yeah, Czar's getting encounter after encounter, reset, encounter. So he's found out that information as well.
Yeah, and I think chat was mentioning it before, and I just hadn't seen it yet, but Imps have Stone Touch, so they have Paralysis and Stone Touch. They don't want you encroaching on their lands today.
Czar makes it to the Temple of Fiends now. Bismarck has cleared his way. He's got his money that he got out of there. With his bald fighter, he's the first one to make it to Garland.
Yeah, with about 11k down here in a flame armor, it's a good starter certainly here. Garland drops to a cast of Lit 2, 100 damage. Thanks for playing, Garland. I'm sure we'll never see you again.
Bismarck picks up his canoe from the kind, trusting King of Canaria, and the tail comes up from Princess Sarah after her being rescued.
Tail being one of those nice priority items, gives you access to your class change once you've got the airship. It's a great thing. Right, Chad is talking about the use of Black Mage, and they are bringing up an excellent point between Ampharos and Fuchsia Fantasy, mentioning that Black Mages have a slightly higher chance to run early on. It's a very useful point of note that getting out of combat is important and useful.
It is. It certainly gets out a little bit faster. Personally, I'm more of a you don't have to run from a dead enemy.
I'm in that boat too, usually. Well, so they're gonna have to probably find some armor. Gold bracelets are at the cap, but silver bracelets are inexpensive enough that Zardia has decided to load up on them.
Bismarck finds his crown for sale now. He takes a nice, good, long look at that, so he's aware of it at this point in time. Nearing the 5-minute mark, both players are still in Canaria. probably thinking about their options, thinking about perhaps that ship in TNTC, maybe how they want to battle that high crown price. Do they want to spend money on cabins? It looks like Zardia has made that decision. He's going to play a normal game. He's getting heals, the pures, some cabins to do some exploration. Looks like Bismark is as well. They're not going to try to get that crown early at this point.
No, and also if you look at those shop prices, I mean, those are some prices right there. Heal potions 42 apiece, pures $1.05, cabins are 140. So maybe these runners will be hoping for cheap tents down the road.
Definitely, and they'll pick up a bunch of those if they find tents for like 10 gold. The only saving grace there, as Bismarck equips his 3 silver bracelets, would be soft potions at 200 gold, and you don't use a lot of them. It's nice and everything, but you'd much rather have cabins right around 40 gold, somewhere in that range.
Yep, Zardia is starting to burn through that stash of cabins to avoid some combat, find some wolves. Bismarck runs from some mad ponies as we make our way down to Dwarf Cave.
Equal footing, Bismarck's found a hole in that encounter table now. It's a good amount of encounters down. He finds a light axe equipable by the knight, very underrated melee weapon in the Dwarf Cave.
Also going to be great later against the undead because you can hold it high above your head and cast Harm 2 with it.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
Welcome to Speed Gaming here, the first match. Round 5, Final Fantasy Randomizer 2018 Spring Tournament. Wukleos is here, joined by the wonderful, wonderful Demarine. We'll be playing later in the week. We'll get to those schedules as well. Those have been scheduled. We'll be right here on Speed Gaming, also on our sister broadcast partner, Randomania, throughout the week as we head and trudge forward to the bracket stages.
Yep, and of course, considering trudging forward, both of our runners are trudging through some ogres and heading down past Northwest Castle here, where there's a very nice king who does nothing wrong, and then turning the corner to make it to Elfland.
Hey, he's got some pet bats in his castle. I think he's got a cozy little place.
Yeah, absolutely. All these adventurers going and raiding his treasure chests, they're terrible.
We found some spiders that are unrunnable. Other than that, we haven't seen too much so far. Nothing too dangerous. No unrunnable wolves, no unrunnable ogres quite yet. But those are looming. We're going to see that come up soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to see all the dangerous stuff early, or do you want to kind of wait on it? It's a double-edged sword, certainly.
It is. It absolutely is. Czar getting ambushed now. Looks like he might have hard reset. He's in that tough part of the encounter table again. Yep. Bismarck did not, from what I could tell. Czar is the first one to make it to Elfland. Level 3 black magic. He digs up Fire 3. Acceptable.
Yeah. But Bismarck, being level 5 now, will have had access to those spells right off the bat. I don't know if Czar pushed out all the way to level 5 because he was doing a lot of resetting and encounter manipulation to get out of this in one piece.
Harm 4, Cure 3, and Fog 2, level 3 white magic. Not quite what Czar was looking for. He passes on checking anything else. He's going to save at the end. He's going to head east toward Crescent Lake.
Yeah, it's a sensible time-use decision to not check the level 4 magic right off, because you're broke anyway.
Cyclone GU here on Speed Gaming, taking care of our restream. Thank you very much. Demon Frog, 1983, doing some damage in this tournament so far. On the track and keeping us up to date and in line. Thank you very much for joining us, both of you.
Demon Frog, of course, commenting about the 1-3 record, but, you know, pushing people to their limits and having good races. I mean, again, a couple of bounces here and there. Never lament the fact that you had a rough run. It's always a learning experience.
Czar makes it to Crescent Lake, immediately to the item shop, looking for tents. He doesn't find them.
Nope. Doesn't find much of interest here at all so far.
The item shop in Elfland does not have tents. Provoker would be the way to go for that.
Yep, Quad X over there at level 6. Czar doing a quick spell check there. I barely missed the white magic, but...
White magic level 4?
Ruse was in the white magic shop level 6. Warp in the 4th slot, black magic, Crescent Lake. That's going to benefit the black mage / black wizard. Bismarck will be locked out of warp.
Yep, will not be locked out of exit, though, as it did show up in the level 4 white magic shop that Czar did not see.
Zardia is done with his Crescent Lake visit.
Mhm.
He picked up the bottle from the Crescent Lake sages. Still no sign of a floater. They've got the means to get to the Ryukan Desert, but not the rock to raise the airship and change the status quo.
Yep. So it looks like it's going to be a march northward through the river using those Lit 3 charges to blow up some fish on the way. Bismarck taking the south route through some trolls and bulls to find his way on, and bulls have glance. Oh boy.
Who knows what they've got behind that as well. Lightning 3 starting to get that workout now from Canaria. Bismarck using it to mow down these enemies. Czar continues to head north. He's headed toward Provoca.
Right. Bismarck's got a statue for a fighter right now. Not a good look, certainly. You know, hopefully picked up a couple of softs with that big treasure trove he got, because he's going to need one here.
2 soft potions. Bismarck came prepared. He wants to use it, and he does.
You know, a very wise call. You know, when you've got the extra cash, supplies are critical. Otherwise, you'll die. Alright, Bismarck at level 6 rolls on up to Crescent Lake at this point. Is already a little bit ahead of pace. Rolls up to Provoca at 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh, God. Just close it, Czar. Close it! That was the worst white magic screen I've ever seen at level 2.
Terrible. Bane makes up for everything. Level 2 black magic tempers available. There's a, I believe, Demron, you like to call them a sweeper. Ice 2, acceptable.
Yep, temper being the big one, though. I think temper is always a big part of the melee strategy. You stack that up, and it almost doesn't matter what sword you've got if you've got enough stacks of temper. We haven't seen fast yet, though, and of course we don't know what's in the level 4 black magic shop either, but that would be a good find there, without a doubt.
Czar electrocuting the pirates. He's going to talk to Bicky. There's one thing that he wants, Demron. Let's see what he gets.
He wanted the rod, clearly.
Obviously, Zardia wanted the rod. He's got his rod. That's what he wanted to take out the Earth Cave.
At least he found some 38 gold cents for his trouble.
One location left in the inner area of the game. It is the Ice Cave. I don't know whoever wants to go to Ice Cave this early. I know I don't.
I mean, without an easy ship out there, we didn't see a ship so far. Unless we run aground of a boat soon, we know that it's high likelihood of a floater down there in the Ice Cave.
Czar originally went south. Looks like he was burning off an encounter. He is going to take the Matoya's play. Potentially attempting to prepare himself for a ship TNT seed. He's going to look for those 3 chests. If he doesn't find what he likes, I would think that he'll reset and be back in Provoca. Let's see what he digs up.
Alright, Bismarck is burning off some spell charges here. Going to do a little bit of a grind outside of Crescent Lake, trying to get some money and get caught up here. Peeve's definitely a good encounter. Czar didn't find anything worth a darn in Matoya's Cave and decides to reset out.
Bismarck taking encounters around Crescent Lake. He seems satisfied. I would think that, well, Lightning 3 right here on a Hydra and an Ocho. No, he's going to run. Okay. Peninsula of Power for Czar. He's going to get some levels. It looks like he wants Ice Cave.
Yeah, no, levels are definitely a big part of hitting up Ice Cave, without a doubt. Going in there at level 7 or 8 is usually pretty suspect. You know, the enemies down there melee hard enough that they're going to give you a hard time.
We had this situation in week 1 with my match with Czar. I went ahead and did do this. Czar did not. Czar was able to get through, and he took a lead. Looks like he's playing it maybe a little bit safer, or based upon magic spells, he wants to be a little bit more comfortable making this move.
Yeah, in our matchup, Bismarck and I in week 3, we also had an ice cave that was a monstrous ice cave that was full of things like crack and glance and glare. Until we made a stop at Volcano and grabbed a ribbon out of there, along with a bunch of levels from Peds, we were having a hard time.
Bismarck not messing around. He's in Provoca. He doesn't stop off to check no magic shops. He don't need no magic shops. He's going to mow down these pirates, and he's going to pick up his rod.
Yep, and with the slight level advantage already, because his grind is already done, there's not too much to separate these runners at this point. 14 and change in.
Czar has a little bit of knowledge of what's in Matoya's. He did make that walk. Was there 10 Serum Provoke at Demeron? 38?
38. So nice and cheap, which is what it's all about. Right, Bismarck's got a rod now, as the pirates go quietly to a storm of lightning. And we're along and on our way, and Bismarck is thinking about Ice Cave.
He is. He's going to spend a lot of his money. So far, the wild card here, we're nearing the 15-minute mark. I've got to think, Demeron, it's the crown. The high-priced crown being for sale, and the fact that we have not seen the floater yet, with the Ice Cave being the only location yet. I think our runners have a decision to make. Do you risk it and dive that, and go for that incentivized location? Or do you risk it going the other way and getting the crown? It's a tough call at this point.
I think the smart call is, if you're going to make the call, is you hike back to Elfland, you take the bit of extra time, and you buy exit. You want to stop that second loop. That second loop is where it really gets dangerous. You start running out of resources. You start running low on spell charges, and, you know, swarms of the undead will take you down.
Oh, they've done it to all of us many, many times. Given that Bismarck's going to make the Matoyas play as well. I like this. He's going to gain that same information that Czar had. Now, based upon Czar's Peninsula power grind, I've got to think it's Ice Cave for him.
It's got to be Ice Cave. You've got to know it's the floater first, because if it's not the floater and you gamble out, you've ruined your run. You know, you don't want to give up the floater first if you can help it.
You're in hot water if it pops up that it is. Grey Wolves firing glance at Bismarck too. 3 light warriors are stoned. He's down to 1. Grey Wolves have invisibility too. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a good time waster here. So he's going to hope to get off this Lightning 3 so that he can get his Matoya check done. And he'll probably be very happy to see that there's a whole lot of nothing there.
Bismarck losing a little bit of time on this. He's going to continue to try to get out of this fight. Czar returns to Provoca. He's got around 8,000 gold. He's going to be able to do all the shopping that it is that he wants for his next endeavor.
Yep. And he's going to check these chests, and I'm sure that he will quickly reset when he finds that all he's got is a silver helmet and a small amount of Matoya's retirement savings.
Bismarck opts to reset. He's back in Provoca. Same thing that Zardia did. Mirror images of the game here. Very slight differences. Very similar result.
Bismarck runs into those stone wolves again, and instead of taking his chances with running, he decides to reset. He's going to take his chances again here, and have to reset.
He's going to Peninsula Power. Is he going there? He might be.
I don't know where he's going right now, because he keeps getting turned to stone and turned back from wherever he wants to go.
He is not. Czar has his spells, has his levels. He's going to give it a shot in the Ice Cave. Bismarck's headed that way now.
Right. So I know that, you know, Ice Cave is on the table for both of these runners around level 10. Good spell charges. Lightning 3 at level 1 is a solid cast spell there. I don't know if I agree with going into Ice Cave first.
Yeah, I just... This is win or go home. I mean, you know this game. Both these gentlemen have practiced insanely much. Maybe it's a win or go home in the positive aspect of, as Bismarck's going the wrong way, and resets. I'm going to go for it, maybe? And I'm going to try to win this. I'm going to try to win this now.
Yeah, I'm certainly aware that if you can get a 1 dive here, you're in good shape. But the alternative is to try and grab gear out of the volcano first. You know, you have a flame armor, you have silver bracelets, you're decently well defended. But, you know, doing volcano, buying exit, making sure that you're a little bit more prepared, so you don't have to double loop this as Czar gets the cart beaten out of him by wizard staffs.
Round 4 for Zardia in Ice Cave. Bismarck gets a huge run through the first floor. He's onto the second floor with only 1 encounter. Bismarck is blazing through the Ice Cave now. He's to the 3rd floor, almost to the 3rd floor. Light Axe coming into play here.
Yeah, absolutely, and gonna burn Harm 4. Got Harm 4 on his White Mage, so plenty of good options here to try and blast through the undead before they take you out, but those melee swings are coming in for 56.
Now that looks like both players have selected the Ice Cave, you're posed with another question. Do you check all the chests in case this is a ship in TNT Seed? I would think that you check as much as you can at the very least.
I mean, I think you make a resource check, you verify what's in here in terms of enemies, you make sure that if it's nothing super dangerous, yeah, you're gonna go and... I know Bismark is loaded up on heal potions, so you're gonna make the checks. And Czar gets the most powerful sword in the game, the Bane Sword.
Bane Sword utility for Czar. Everyone likes a good Bane Sword. He hits the trap tile and immediately gets ambushed by undead. We talked about this, Demrad. They will do a number on you.
Yeah, this is, you know, not too bad. Again, silver bracelets are a big early pickup when you've got the options to get them.
Bismarck choosing the same strategy, neck and neck for our runners now. He gets his Bane Sword.
Yep. Slings it off on the white mage, giving her something to do other than cast spells, I guess, at this point, which is useful.
Czar heads toward the Frost Dragon chest.
Yep.
Runnable Frost Dragons.
That's always a good thing to see. I've found Frost Dragons do punch pretty hard, and nothing in their chests, but we'll keep moving.
The undead encounter for Bismarck now. Utilizing the light axe, trying to thin the herd here.
Yeah, knocking his red mages around a little bit here, so he's going to burn some more heal potions. Czar also burning off some heal potions, but he's got 14 and Bismarck's in the 80s. Alright, Bismarck's sprinting away from that frost giant. Czar's still not interested in fighting mages here, using up resources on single mages.
6 chest room for Czar. Not much. He's going to take the trap tile encounter, get those other 2 chests.
I think the most exciting thing we found there was a house.
Yeah. Czar fought these frost wolves earlier on the Peninsula of Power. He had that information, that knowledge. He certainly is not afraid of this fight.
Right. Walks away with a little bit more money in tow. Bismarck gonna get the Frost Dragon chests as well, and he will walk away from these with a little bit more money in tow.
Not too problematic so far in the Ice Cave. More than halfway, well, more than halfway into it, I guess you could say, but not quite halfway out of it yet.
Yep, we are working our way through the chests on loop 1 here while we have resources to burn. You know, eventually it becomes an all-out burn fest to get out the door on that second lap through.
Both players in search of the floater. Czar gets a new encounter, the Great Pede. It's a single enemy. Absolutely blasts his black mage physically.
Yeah, nothing down here pulls punches, let's be real.
Another Great Pede for Czar. Nearing the original/last floor of Ice Cave now, the wizard floor. Gold bracelet pickup. We've got to be happy with that.
No, that'll save him 65 large, so that's a good find. Bismarck redistributing swords, making sure everybody is armed to go.
Runnable undead encounter for Czar. He's got to like to see that on this last floor. 3 more chests. Some gold, an axe, and a heal bucket.
This is still not the most exciting thing. Czar does line up the heal bucket on his black mage for use, though, and let's see, gets an ambush on the eyes, so this should be pretty free at this point.
Definitely, he's going to heal up a little bit. He's going to get some information. Perhaps let's check out the hit points of the eye.
Yeah, it looks like it's under 115, so that's a good information.
Level 11 for Czar. It looks like it's about 110, and it is the floater. So both players made the right call, getting to the ice cave. Doesn't seem to be too treacherous from what we've seen at this point, and they will be rewarded with the floater. Now they just got to get out.
Right. Czar looks like he's not yet interested in getting out here. He's interested in using up some of his resources on these eyes for the experience.
That's right. I wouldn't, if this was me, I would look at a target level of right around level 15, perhaps 13, and take some more fights on the way out, and look to turn in that tail as soon as I could to go ahead and get class change and not quite hit level 15, because at level 15, that knight that is soon to be the fighter will gain spell charges. Could be very important later on in the game.
Yeah, there with the accessibility of spells, you never want to mess with it. But with level 2 being just that bad, it's probably not that important at this point.
That is true. Level 2 magic was pretty weak in Provoca. Bismarck right behind now. He's gonna find out how weak the eye is.
Yeah, he's got some swords equipped to everybody, so gonna slash away.
Czar on his way out hits the full 9 undead trap tile and gets a chance to strike first, and now a huge run out. He's gotta love to see this.
Right. Bismarck a little bit less interested in gaining some levels off the eyes, and just decides to jump down and move. So there's again very little separating these two runners at this point.
Czar's out of the ice cave, paddling away, saving, trying to get out of here, attempting to get his airship. We're at the 25-minute mark now.
Making good time here. You know, we're still under geared here. We have not found any gear of note, and some spells that we really would want are a little off the table right now.
Czar is the only one who will have access to the warp spell. It is a little bit later. It's level 6. It's in the 4th slot over in Crescent Lake.
Alright, Bismarck making his dash to the door. Successfully escapes Ice Cave, you know, smashes to save because you don't want to take a step outside and get into an encounter right after you leave a dungeon and get killed, so good call there.
Bismarck out of the Ice Cave. He's paddling away, saving. Almost mirror images from these two players. Two players that have played this game a long time. They practice a lot. Very, very good at this game, taking the same route. Really just mirroring each other, Dimmer.
Yeah, I think the only difference in this run is the reset Bismarck took because he made a wrong turn going to Ice Cave. That's about the difference right now. And it's a wrong turn that, trust me, if I tell you how many times I've made it, you don't want to know.
I'd like to thank our development team. Doing a wonderful job, working hard. A few new things have popped up. The confused old man option is coming, and we believe it's live in alpha at this point in time. I won't spoil it, but it is very fun. A very, very fun added tweak that's coming up, and we'll see that on an exhibition race coming up sometime soon.
Bismarck having a little bit of a hard time with the encounter table, so gets a little caught up on the rivers here, losing a little bit of time. While Czar is going to go ahead and stock up on heal potions now that he's got 40 grand in his bank account, and is going to make sure he's got the supplies.
Do we see Czar head directly to class change? I would certainly think so. Another option could be... Oh no, he's spending all his money. He had enough money for the crown and would be very close if he went to like a Titan's Trove sort of thing.
Alright, it looks like Trolls had some sort of sweep because 2 of Bismarck's fighters fell down basically while you were chatting. Czar's going to get our first look at level 4 black magic, and there it is.
There's the fast in level 4 we talked about. Brack is in there.
Good spell selection, certainly. But the big thing is Czar is spending his money because you figure your next plays, you've got the key item at Sarda, you've got promotion for sure. So you're going to crack open a lot of chests there too, and the hope is that you'll find something handy there as well.
Exit. White Mage and White Wizard exclusive. Life, however, will be available to both of Bismarck's Red Mages, something to consider at late game. Diverging paths now. Bismarck heads to Sarda. Incentivized item is the cube. Bismarck picks up his cube now.
And from Fearless Decoy, quick question, is that a custom bald fighter on Bismarck's side? Yes, Bismarck is using a set of custom graphics that makes his light warriors hairless.
Cardia Islands for Zardia now. Ice armor. Bismarck back to Elfin. Did he check? Did Bismarck go to the Titan's Trove?
He did not. He grabbed the item from Sarda and bailed out. He's, I guess, more interested in buying spells. Czar finds Sparkover's Bridge over in the Cardia Isles. I have no idea how they're going to cart that all the way down to Cronaria, but they do.
That's a big barge to get that bridge down there from the Cardia Islands down to Canaria and Canaria Castle.
All right, Bismarck happy to see Fast and Brack, so we've got Fast at 4, Temper at 2 or 3.
No sign of a potential endgame weapon at this point. The light axe has been good to both players. No sign of a ribbon. Not too much on the equipment front. Ice armor and flame armor have been located. Bismarck headed to see Bahamut and do his class change.
Yep. Czar finding an ice sword, so almost an endgame sword. We're getting there.
Czar's going to do his class change. Now, again, both players mirroring each other. Bismarck has been to Sarda. Zardia did the Cardia Islands. We're at the 30-minute mark. To recap really quick. The Trusting King gave us the canoe. Princess Sarah was rescued from the clutches of Garland. She handed over the tail. The Circle of Sages had the bottle. Bicky, after his pirates were defeated, had the rod. Located inside the ice cave after level grinding a little bit from both players was the floater. Sarda, in his Sarda's cave, had the cube. As far as key item locations, 65,000 gold bracelets are for sale in Canaria, and the crown is the vendor item, 43,000 gold, also in Canaria.
I mean, it's clear why their kingdom is so prosperous at this point in time. Bismarck picking up that ice sword as well, going to equip it to his newly found knight, going to exit out of that treasure room. Czar looks like he's interested in taking a moment.
Yeah, I think he thought better of it. I would assume he's going to head to Gaia. He's going to release his bottle, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to go see the fairy and get his Oxael, so it looks like he's planning to do a double up on Waterfall and Sea Shrine as his first orb dungeon. You know, some really tight routing here. So
checks out the item armor shop. There's the pro ring. Pretty affordable pro rings, 5,000 gold in Gaia.
Yep, and if he thought he was going to have money for the crown, well, he's going to keep on spending right now.
We have a new poll available for the 2018 Spring Tournament. Me and Demarine talked earlier about the bracket stages. We are full steam ahead. It's coming up about a week. The grouping names poll is out. The enemies that will represent the different groups for the bracket stage of the 16 players. Garland, Peeds. Get out there, click the link. It's in chat right now. And fans, Speed Gaming fans, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, we want to know what it is that you want to see. So click the link and let us know.
I highly recommend you vote for Mazamune.
One sword to rule them all. What is the best knight weapon for the end game? Is it the maligned game changer, the Vorpal? What about the legendary Excalibur? Perhaps the defense sword and all its utility? Or the Demarine special, the Mazmoon? The versatile Mazmoon is an option as well. We want to know what it is that you, the fans, think is the best end game sword for the night.
Alright, Bismarck finds a rub at level 7 in the second slot in Onrak, decides to stay at the inn and save, and find some frost giants right outside. Alright, and Czar is going to touch down here and start moving towards Waterfall Cave.
Did Bismarck talk to the sages?
Looking at the tracker down there, sages... What did the Circle of Sages have? They had the bottle, correct?
They had the bottle.
I don't know. Try and catch it when we crack the item menu.
Right, Bismarck is headed toward the waterfall. He will be saving, more than likely, right to start the waterfall. We'll see if we can catch whether or not he's got the bottle in his inventory. I do not believe he's been to Gaia.
Yes, Ventrix says that he did pop the bottle, or at least does have it, did get it. So, you know, we'll go with that he popped the bottle, and he is, you know, again, like we said, really good at this. And so we will say that he's got it.
I did see one player pop the bottle in the river system on their way to Provoca. I wasn't sure if that was Bismarck or Czar. It may have been Bismarck, so that would potentially make sense.
Alright. And Czar's decided it's going to be not Waterfall. It is a run-on. It is likely to be either an in-stop here and then up to Waterfall, just to reload on spell charges, because houses have been a little hard to come by.
Mermaids. Could it be the mermaids? Czar is headed toward the Sea Shrine. This would be an early mermaids play. This has become a new thing here in the Swiss Island. He is headed that way, potentially. He's looking for gear.
Yeah, it's got exit also, so a mermaid check is a pretty good idea because you can pop out of it quickly. First encounter, though, is the unrunnable Sahag pack, but Lightning 3 is the tool you need to open up that door.
Bismarck completely blew through the waterfall. I looked down, we were trying to figure out whether or not he had the bottle or not. Next thing I know, he's on the trap tile in the waterfall. 6 chests that are essentially free, incentivized item for the robot. I gotta think my guess would be either the slab or the loot. I'm gonna guess the loot.
Alright, I'm not sure at this point. We've got Stun coming out and Poison Touch coming out, so... Not the greatest mummy pack, certainly, but they're dying fast enough.
Level 12 for Bismarck as he takes out the mummies.
Yeah, when mummies are good, there's the loot from the robot. When the mummies are good, though, when you are drawing wizard mummy encounters, it's one of my favorite spike tiles to grind in the game.
I didn't see much in the waterfall. An
Nope.
ice shield. Compare that with the flame armor. Small consequence. Or small win, I guess you could say.
Czar finding an opal bracer on his way down, clearing the floor prior to the mermaids, and finds his 4th pro ring as well, because he only bought 3.
Czar wants equipment here. He's going a little bit out of his... Picks up a katana. That'll get him his crown if he sells it. Let's see what the ladies have. And
Wow. Right off the bat. 2nd pro ring, but also more importantly, the adamant.
Hydra just knocked down one of the Red Wizards of Bismarck. Was that Death Touch?
I think you actually hope it's Death Touch at this point. Oh, hey! There's a
is.
sword!
The Mazmoon, the versatile Mazmoon. It's on the pole. Is it the best endgame weapon? Whether agree, disagree, doesn't matter. It's viable. I don't think there's any question about that. Adamant for the Excalibur and the Mazmoon for Czar. He's got 2 weapons now.
This gamble pays off like nothing else I've seen at this point.
3 more chests still to go for Czar. He's got to be happy with what he's found.
I
Meanwhile,
mean-
Bismarck takes a little bit of a lead in progression here.
And
He's finished the waterfall with his loot. He's headed to Castle Ordeals. He's looking for the slab.
I'm gonna wrap up all of his incentive items before starting to do the 4 orb dungeon, so he's making good time. Czar finds 3 pro rings on the mermaid floor as well. That is unbelievable finds,
He
but
bought them all already, I think.
yeah, he bought 3 and he found 3 more. Alright, so Czar, though, now empowered with the power of the Mazamune, with Fast, with Temper, with Lightning 3, drops a pro ring to pick up a pro ring because he's flush with cash at this point. He's got everything he could ever want.
You good. The Bane Sword being used by Bismarck on his way to Castle Ordeals now.
Yep,
Smoking out the wyverns.
Had some steak and wings before, too, so he's trying to boost up that experience. Finds level 13 along the way. So, only thing Czar, I think, is looking for at this point in time is a nice hat. Wants a ribbon at this point.
He does want the headgear of a ribbon. 3 of them in the game. 1 ribbon would put Czar, depending on people's opinions, in what we call go mode, potentially. I would certainly think that as well, especially with those 2 items. Those 2 swords.
Yeah, with the endgame sword in play, I mean, Wall is a good backup, certainly, and Wall is something he's got access to, but that takes time to set up. That's time that you could be using to buff your knight, and make sure that he is at, full blender speed.
Both of our runners putting on a very strong showing so far. We finally got a route divergence. Czar going for gear, and it paid off. Bismarck going for progression and items within the game. Czar's got a lead in gear, he's got to be satisfied with it. Bismarck is got a lead in progression items and dungeons visiting at this point.
Right. So Bismarck is going to get to Ordeals after taking out an awful lot of dragons along the way. But yeah, he's going to be looking for his slab at the top of the Castle of Ordeals, while Czar is grinding the Sharknado room right now.
Level 14 for Czar now. He wants a couple more levels before taking on his first Fiend, the Fiend of the Water, as we near the 40-minute mark of this win-or-go-home matchup.
And as a point of note, for as much complaining as I did about the level 2 white magic, Czar did buy Mute at level 2 for his white mage.
The Lobsters have ambushed Zardia, and they've got the Crack skill. Down go 3 light warriors, and his knight is paralyzed. There goes Crack. Everything Czar did on his way to Kraken is gone.
He's still got the Masamune, and he's still got the Adamant. He's good.
Czar is leaving the area. He's going to pass on to 2 Frostgator fight. He's headed to the waterfall now. So we've got our first problem.
Well,
It is lobsters with crack. We're going to see a lot of them. We're going to see them in the late game, too.
ribbons will protect you from that, thankfully, but not pro rings. The Earth Elemental effect just pierces right through pro rings like they're not even there. But lobsters, as usual, giving our runners fits.
They got me yesterday in my match with Edgeworth. They got Edgeworth as well. Neither of us were immune. They caused a lot of trouble with Blaze, Blizzard, and a partridge in a pear tree. I think it was Squint as well.
Oh yeah, that's very pleasant. That's all that you want to see, all at the same time. Alliger Braff asks if A-Rub was sighted. Yeah, it was sighted at level 7 in Onrak, so that's a little ways out yet, too.
Bismarck winding his way through the Castle Ordeals Shuffle Pillar Maze. Taking on some zombies now. He should have most of the path figured out at this point. Looks like he got warped back to the beginning earlier. He's at level 14 now. That's right around where Czar is.
Alright, Czar gonna make sure that his Red Wizard is equipped with the Ice Sword, so making sure that his Red Wizard can contribute. Mancats are just knocking around Bismarck's party at this point in time. Take out a Red Mage for his troubles here, but Life 2 is on deck. Max Plus Pi asks, Wall is level 1 and learnable by everyone. Does that cover A-Rub? That does not cover A-Rub. Wall will cover your elemental effects, so it acts as a substitute ribbon on single target, but it will not do an awful lot for you for instant death spells.
Bismarck has made his way to the final floor of Castle Ordeals. Not finding much. Czar had some pretty good riches in the mermaids. Czar makes it through the waterfall. He's going to pick up his loot.
Alright, so found the TNT over in Castle of Ordeals, and the Defense Sword, a nice sword pickup there, has a lot of utility too.
Defense Sword, nice pickup. Czar's probably going to get that. Castle Ordeals is essentially mandatory. It's close enough, we'll call it mandatory, at least I would, that everyone's going to get all those chests. It's a dungeon that you want to do early because it's short, and especially if he has spells as Bismarck picks up his slab. It's one that, against certain competitors, I try to put off as much as I can, knowing that we're going to get that same type of gear, hoping that that gear isn't that good, and I'm going to try to utilize that somewhere else to potentially gain an advantage. It's a strategy that I try and like to employ, but you're going to be there no matter what, and you're going to get the same gear, just a matter of when you get it.
Yep. So in terms of timing, Bismarck is wrapping up and has his slab and is looking to be killing some zombie dragons up here. So Czar is about down the length of Ordeals at this point in time. Again, not far to go, and when you've got a Masamune, trust me, all gaps look non-existent. You know, the hope, I guess, is at this point in time is that both of them are going to be, finishing up Ordeals, and then, Bismarck definitely needs to get those crown chests because he has a defense sword as his best sword, which is good in the end game, but the crit rate is low. Not ideal.
Czar's headed back south. I can only think it's to immediately cash in the Adamant for the Excalibur. He's going to pick up the item from Sarda, which is the cube. I've got to think the Crown Quest is next, and he's going to be looking for a ribbon, I would think.
Yeah, he knows, he's got knowledge that he's going to need a ribbon to get through the lobster death pit, so he is going to start checking chests, I think, is the game plan.
He does not have the slab at this point to translate in Melmond. I would think since he's in the area, he could potentially stop off, check the level 5 magic. He might even do Earth Cave at this point. And I would think that he would save the Sea Shrine and Kraken for last? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point in time you do so that you have as much opportunity as you can to get yourself a ribbon or two. Again, crack is incredibly dangerous. Right. Czar gonna exit out. He needs that money. He's sitting around 37k. Bismarck bailing out some of his armor here. Gonna get his money for his crown now. So Bismarck is gonna be the first to start the crown quest.
Czar is going to do the Earth Cave. In the meantime, he should get enough money to the Crown Quest after this. Looks like might be his plan.
Yep. Again, Bismarck, who did not find those two beautiful endgame swords side by side in with the mermaids, is, you know, again, still on the hunt a little bit. Going to start buying Cure 4 for his team, which is great. Going to buy Wall for his team, also great.
Life 2, Wall, Cure 4.
All right.
Level 1 White Magic, kind of making up for the level 2 weakness. Unfortunately, level 2 White Magic, the Red Wizard, the Red Mage, and the promoted, the Knight, can learn all of level 2. You'd rather have that in level 2.
Or at least one of those spells in level 2 would make your life a lot easier, to be fair. You also wouldn't be sharing space with your Lightning 3 on your Black Magic casters as well.
Bismarck begins the Crown Quest.
Tries to Brack and Bane Astos. That doesn't work very well, though.
No, it does not. Czar is checking chess. I can only think it's Ribbon or potentially Power Gauntlet might be in his sights as well, Demerin.
Yeah, Power Gauntlet's definitely not the find I'm looking for here. It is absolutely a Ribbon. Nothing else. Right, I would say that these Brack casts were brought to you by Split Punched, but I don't think Split Punched would have cast Brack on Astos.
Bismarck continues his crown chase and hunt. He checks out Matoya, gets her herb. Czar gets the information about Earths and whether or not they're runnable or not. And now he's going to take on a vampire, I think?
I mean, most everything falls pretty quickly to the power of the Holy Sword Malzamune, so... See, look at that. 4 hits, 350. No more vampire.
Level 15 for Czar now.
Right, Alliger Brap asking, what about the Vorpal? What about the Vorpal?
The Vorpal, otherwise known in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community as the Game Changer, maligned weapon. Useful in a pinch to some, legendary to others. Dragon armor, black shirt, found now. Elflin Castle Keylock chess. Bismarck's gotta like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite a ribbon, but it's gonna let him distribute some armor around, you know, give that gold bracelet to somebody else. That's a good find all in all. You definitely need that black shirt at this point. And in the back of Earth Cave, yeah, speaking of that Power Gauntlet, as Chad is catching us up, Czar has it.
Zardia is a big fan of the Power Gauntlet. He's got the weapons, he's got that. But Emran, you said it. He wants the headgear.
Yeah, I mean, the bonk is going to be nice because, you know, you can go, you know, Invis 2 plus fast plus temper plus use the Power Gauntlet all in your first turn on a boss. Your knight is ready to roll at that point. You know, that's a lot of damage output pretty much on turn 2 instantly.
Czar getting through the Earth Cave fairly well. Bismarck continuing to check chess now. Add the white shirt to his arsenal.
Well, there's our Invis 2 casts at this point. You know, free as they come, wave the shirt. And a Zeus Gauntlet 2.
Lucrative check for Bismarck here. He's going to get these items before Zardia. Can he use them to his advantage?
We shall see. Slaps that white shirt on the white mage, decides to throw the Zeus Gauntlet and the Silver Bracer onto the red mage, so well defended. Czar is going to cut down some Cassitresses here, trying to keep moving through Earth at this point.
Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, we'd like to remind you that tomorrow, June 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, a battle of 3-in-1s over on our sister network, Random Mania, 8 p.m. Eastern, Ifin Maya battles for Zondo. I can't wait. I'm going to be there. I believe I'm going to be on the call for that as well. I'm going to enjoy that match.
That is going to be a crazy matchup for sure. The first win and in match for brackets at this level. Bismarck finds the maximum gold chest in Corneria, so all that money he spent on the crown, we found it. I don't think that there's going to be a bad 3-in-1 matchup at this point in this tournament. Just so many good runners. You know, they're all going to be difficult. You know, everybody wants to continue on at this point. Dropping to 3-2, while not the end of the world, is still pretty rough.
Yes. Bismarck heads to Melmond. Let's check out some level 5 magic. White magic, F-A-D-E, Fade in the second slot. Red Wizard learnable for 4,000 gold. I like it.
I mean, you want power, there you go. Another great spell to find. Ice 3 over in the black magic side as well. I mean, pretty well stocked there.
3 Fade casters now for Bismarck. It is a level 5 magic though, and Lich is giving it to Zardian now. Not taking it today. Thunder from Lich takes out the White Wizard.
Got the wall up on the knight though, got the fast up on the knight though, so that knight is ready to go, and Lich is going to pay the price for killing the white mage.
Zardia not having any of it. 8 hits, 751 damage, takes down Lich. Zardia is the first to light an orb here. It is the Earth Orb. Lich is down. Meanwhile, Bismarck enters the Earth Cave now. Bismarck was able to translate his slab in Melmond, so that has been translated. He's got his 3 Fade shots now. He goes to the nearby Elf Cave. Czar is going to pick up his Excalibur, and I would certainly think look at his Crown Quest now. One thing that Czar isn't able to do here is he did not go to Castle Ordeal, so he does not have his slab. So he wasn't able to really stop off here in Melmond, translate his slab, and do that. It looks like I would certainly think the Crown Quest is next, though.
Yep. Although, did we miss? Yeah, Cure 4, Lightyear is saying Cure 4 was seen. Yes, it was seen at level 1 in the all learnable, in a promote learnable spot. Crown Alligator Brap is asking, Crown is a vendor item here, which Czar's about to buy for 44 grand.
Question from Fruit Strike. Yes, it's the video that got me into Final Fantasy Randomizer. If you want to do I believe, a search over on YouTube for the Tiamat 2 of Death, X Ice Blue, if you're out there, I believe you were involved with that. Papa Foy's was in there. Zardia was in that match as well. Ikbin Maya was on the call. It's worth your time to check out. I believe it's Tiamat 2 of Death is the title of the video.
Alright, Czar is now gonna very, very methodically start clearing out these orb dungeons. He's now over here by the volcano. I don't think you can full go mode this volcano without any hats yet, though, so... Birds.
Strike. Looks like X Ice Blue has put a link in there for you. For that match. It's a great match. It's worth your time.
Right. Birds, dangerous, Czar resets. Finds a second katana, so not quite what you want to see here. Grey worms with stone poison. Ooh.
Grey worms are going to pop up again in larger packs in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So we got Opal Bracelet.
Nice find, certainly.
Opal Bracelet located in the armory for Czar. The sooner he can get to those crown quests, he's going to be really set. Except for the headgear. No ribbons found. We're nearing an hour now in this game.
Yep, finds a second ice sword, finds second katana. Has statues to work with, but he's going to keep them down while he goes and hunts through some chests. We've got Trance coming out.
Heal. He's going to reset. He knows where the Opal Bracelet is. He's going to go back in.
I mean, he definitely wants that Opal Bracelet. The highest absorb for your mages in the game. You definitely want to have that on hand. Czar checking the lower free chest, which is nothing. He even skips the Opal Bracelet at this point and just says, nope, I'm good. Perilous, so Scorching, that's not a lot of damage at this point. Scorch is, bouncing off pretty inefficiently. Bismarck rolls on up. with his defense sword and is going to start stacking up. Oh, he's going to go for direct damage at this point. He's just going to cast spells directly on Lich for the kill here rather than stacking up the fighter. Does not see Lich bring the Thunder either on turn 1. Fire 2, a Fire 3, and a Harm 4 later, and Lich is down for Bismarck, so he lights up his Earth Orb now and is moving across the world, probably to Volcano. But first, a Trove check. Alright. More chest checks for Zardy at this point in time as he starts working his way through the lower treasure chest floor of the volcano now. Doesn't find much to start, so he's going to keep digging. 12 gold. That's not what you want to see. Alliger Brap asking, is Zar thinking about doing a solo Agama grind? I am unsure at this point in time. There's many options at this point in terms of that. You know, he does like having his fighter at a significantly higher level than the rest of his party. He's not really set up for it yet, but he's not healing the rest of his party either. Finds a Silver Bracer, not very exciting. Bismarck is stocking up at Crescent Lake, so looks like a run on the volcano is in the cards today. Yep, and he's going to set up shop here right outside and get started. Right.
Zardia did elect a solo night grind in his last game. That was after a Temple of Fiends visit. He also elected a Hunt for the Power Gauntlet in his first matchup in the Swiss round. Do those lobsters bother him? He has not found the headgear that we've talked about. Bismarck has entered the volcano now. He's going to dig out his opal bracelet.
He does not find that. He does not find the stone poison, though, on those worms yet. So, again, a little bit of information, you know, cost for time. So it means he will probably have to get the opal bracelet out of here in one piece. And interesting, Czar opts to heal Helm, even though it looks like he's trying to bring his team down.
Level 16 for Czar now. Continues to use the heal helmet and the heal staff. Is he out of heal potions?
I don't think so. I think he's just using it for efficiency here, just to keep his team topped up.
He's a little bit of time as well. He can definitely take out the Agam in one round, given his weapons.
Absolutely. So, you know, people are asking about the ribbons, and I think you definitely need at least one for sure. You need to protect your life charges. You know, putting it on your white mage is super important, and you shift it over to your knight. Or just set up your wall, because you do have wall at level 1 on your knight on turn 1 of your fiend fights, so that your knight doesn't get blown up and your white mage doesn't get blown up.
Nearing the hour mark now. Both players with one orb lit. They both have the Earth Orb. Bismarck skipping some chests, but he likes to go to the northwest group of 5 chests. Digs up a Procate.
Not the worst find, certainly, but he's going to run into another Grey Worm here and still not find out that they've got stone poison. And the ship was back here as well. Alright. Bismarck going to keep delving here, going to move down to the Agama chests as well, so they're going to high-five right here at the Agama chests, but Bismarck's not interested in the slightest. Bismarck also not interested in Red Dragon chest today either.
We've got the slab lit up on the tracker for Zardia, and we have it translated. The slab was in Castle Ordeals. Has Zardia been there?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't believe Zardia has been there. We're going to take a look into that as soon as we can, but I'm fairly certain Bismarck does have his slab translated. I'm starting to take a look at as Bismarck initiates the carry fight here. He's going to look to light his second orb now. Given that Bismarck has been to Castle Ordeals. It has
Yeah.
translated his slab. Progression and item lead there. Gear lead for Czar. Looks like he's going to get some levels as well. So that's kind of where we're standing right now. That's what it looks to me.
Yeah, and we blank on the Red Dragon chest, 2,800 gold, so... Yep, Excise Blue is confirming that Czar did not get the slab yet, you know. So he's still got to make the dip into Ordeals, so time is marching on here. Bismarck is moving around. Looks like it's going to be time for a restock stop, and then back to the north side of the world. He's still got to do his, he's still got to get his Oxyal and drop off the slab for the chime. But, you know, making good progress here. But again, his endgame weapon is the defense sword right now.
Bismarck has lit his second orb now. He's got 2 orbs lit. As Dembrine said, he's headed north now.
Yep, and it looks like, I think Demon Frog, what it looks like is you have the 2 trackers reversed because you just lit up Czar's orb instead of Bismarck's orb. These things happen. You know, no one is perfect in these situations, certainly. Czar decides to start just cutting away 2 swings and carries away. Yeah, I guess no need to click it off because Czar's got the fire orb lit.
Bismarck now, headed to Lefin, looking to get his chime to enter the Mirage Tower. He stops off for lunch on a Tyro.
Mirage Tower is a pretty good call. There's a lot of chests up there, which means a lot of shots to get your hands on that ribbon.
Czar elects to clear full B2 Volcano. Looking for the headgear. Bismarck extends his progression lead during this time now. Will it pay off for Czar? We're going to find out. Bismarck picks up his chime.
Yep. So the Team Stake folk are out in full force in the chat. Very, very proud of Bismarck at this point in time, stopping to kill a Tyro along the way.
Not much for Czar. Did he go back for the Opal bracelet?
He did not go back for the Opal bracelet. He went back to check chests he did not see. And he's decided that he has had enough. Yep, next on deck for Czar is that Castle Ordeals dip. You know, with the levels he's got and the spells he's got, he should blister through this pretty quickly, get his defense sword. Czar is definitely Team Stake, I think. Right, one of the options in the randomizer are fun graphics, and, you know, one of the great separating points are Tyro's food or friends. And so you can, you know, put your allegiance out there on your seed.
Bismarck making good time headed back to his airship now.
Right, short hop over the mountains, short walk, and he'll be at Mirage Tower in a moment's notice.
Trudging through the Great Desert is Bismarck, heading in the Mirage Tower. Skips the first floor of Mirage. Remember, no ribbons yet in this game for either player.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Maybe he dips back in after clearing out Tiamat, but I mean, first and second floors with exit are pretty easy to grab off and just grab up and go, so...
Czar burning off encounters now. He wants to enter Castle Ordeals comfortably with a run. Bismarck skips Mirage B2 now.
You know, it's a very ambitious play at this point in time. You know, is he just hoping that Wall will get him through this? That's sharing space with Life 2.
Bismarck mowing down some vampires. He is making quick work of this. He's making a move here.
Yeah, he's decided that nothing's going to stop him at this point. Nothing's going to slow him down. Just runs right up into Scott.
Sunday, July 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, towards the end of the weekend. 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed Gaming. It's a pair-down match. 2-2 Wilcliosis versus 3-1 Lord Fizzlebeef. Wilcliosis must win to get to the play-in game. Lord Fizzlebeef has already qualified for at least the play-in game. He wants to win and move on and not have to deal with that. That's right here on Speed Gaming, the Speed Gaming Family Networks, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, July 1st.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, certainly. You know, Lord Fizzlebeef has put up a bunch of good times in this tournament. He's definitely shown that he can navigate those flags really well.
Not quite a winner go home, only for one player on that. Lord Fizzlebeef looking to punch his ticket to that bracket stage.
While if you're at 2-2 and looking at 3-2, you're definitely cheering on Wilfliosis in that match to open up another spot in the brackets, potentially.
It is. There's going to be a lot of people rooting for Wilfliosis in that match, because should Lord Fizzlebeef fall to Will in that one, it will keep him at 3 wins. He will have to play that play-in race. If Lord Fizzlebeef prevails, it locks up another spot in the brackets, and anyone at 2-2 at this point would lose another potential opportunity in the play-in race spot.
All right, we've reached the hour and 5-minute mark here, so just to run it back for everybody who might have hopped in pretty recently. So we started out with the king with the canoe. Sarah gave us a rat tail of all the things in the world. Our intrepid fighters marched around to Crescent Lake to find the bottle, went up to Bicky the pirate, took him out and his pirates, and grabbed the rod. Ice Cave, a very tame ice cave at that. That was probably the most fun ice cave I've ever seen. Brought home the floater so that they could take to the skies, find the cube from Sarda, find the slab right here in Castle Ordeals, as Zardia has just done, and the loot was in the waterfall cave. Robot just wanted to rock out. Gold bracelets, 65 grand in Corneria, so it looks like they're not very interested, with the crown at 44k in Corneria as well. Pro rings cheap in Gaia, 5400. And most importantly, the one gift that Czar has made that Bismarck did not to the mermaids netted him a Mosmune and an Excalibur.
1 hour, 6 minutes into this match now. Czar has decided to do the crown quest. Depending on how deep he goes in it. Uh-oh. That
was a Blizzard Blast from those Chimeras. That's another dangerous spell ability to see in Temple of Fiends as well, because you run into those triple Chimera packs over there. And Red Hydras with stun touch as well?
Bismarck's in trouble, Demarine. He's stun locked.
He's gonna die very slowly over there.
Red Hydra's not hitting hard. 3 hits, 2 hits, but he's paralyzed. He's got 2 warriors left, and they're both on 1 knee, and they cannot move. Slowly whittling away. He's got the Red Wizard's back.
All right, well, he's going to blow a Fade Charge here, which is the right call, but he's not going to get it off. Is he going to have to reset this at this point? He's going to lose all this progress to the Red Hydras.
Going to keep fighting. Zardia and all the time he's taken before now, starting to catch up a little bit. Should Bismarck not be able to get out of this fight? Zar's got his Mystic Key. He's been to Melmon. He's done his shopping. He's translated his slab. Bismarck continues to struggle with the 4 Red Hydras.
Yeah, this is a difficult spot to be in because, you're up pretty high there. You don't always want to reset. Czar's going to get his dragon armor, and it looks like his black shirt, his white shirt. He's going to find all of this stuff because he looks very interested in doing the, taking these chests.
Bismarck, his Red Wizard is up out of the paralysis. He gets a fade off, but it's not enough. He whittles them down. 2 Hydras are down.
Right, he's gonna use the other Fade Charge at this point to get out of this fight. 2 warriors down, 1 warrior down to 72 health. He's got life, and he's gonna use it.
You don't see that coming. Bismarck ran in the Chimeras. He's got that information. They've got Blizzard. It's a skill. Looks like they like to use it as well. That's gonna pop up later, along with the Scorpions and the Grey Worms in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Will Czar get that information? We don't know. Bismarck is out of it. He's gonna continue to move on. That pack of 4 Red Hydra is going to pop up again, Demarine, on the Bridge of Destiny.
Yeah, that's not a fun one to see on the bridge at this point in time. I mean, with all 4 Light Warriors up, you stand a little bit of a better chance on your back spellcasters at least getting off some high-powered spells, but Bismarck burning off his Fade Charges here.
Looks like he wants to get through this. That's been his mission the entire time as he moves to level 18.
Yep, Sky is where you catch up on experience a lot of the time, and he's taking advantage. Alright, Czar filling out his night spell list and making sure everyone's got the proper spells. He's got 2 orbs lit. He's got his slab taken care of. He's gonna grab Warp at level 6 as well, most likely. With all that extra money, he's flush with cash.
Another Sentry Guard fight for Bismarck. This is a good fight to take. Sentries hit hard. They got high absorb. HP can usually roll high, but Bismarck's going to try to take him out. He's going to try to get that experience here.
Alright. He's also going to grab Saber on the, also going to grab Saber on the red mage. Okay, so he's got full backup plan working right now as well, just to make sure if the fighter goes down, he's got the backup plan working with the Mosmune Red Wizard. The sentry is just taking a beating right now and still ticking.
Czar is heading toward Lefin to get his chime now. Will he continue to check chests looking for a ribbon?
I mean, hot on Bismarck's heels, but Bismarck is go-moding at this point, so we'll see where this goes next.
Another sentry fight for Bismarck. He's going to take this one too, it looks like.
These fights have been brutal on his resources.
Yeah, his resources are drying up. There's another fade from Biz now.
Yeah, Alliger Brap does mention that he's kind of surprised Bismarck go-moding Mirage and Sky, and I am in that same boat right now. Bismarck did not find those endgame swords. He's working off a defense sword, a white shirt, and a black shirt. He doesn't have the power gauntlet from Earth. Did he get the power gauntlet from Earth? I don't know if he checked the back chests.
I don't believe so. He did not. Another sentry guard fight for Biz. He's gonna take this one off. He's gonna run from him, get away. Here we go. Bridge of Destiny. 4 red Hydras. Look out if they pop up. There's a gentleman here called Warmek too. Big tin can cause a lot of trouble.
Yep, not to mention the fact that Nachos hit pretty hard, bad men show up here and they're not terribly fun. There's a lot of bad options on this bridge. It's taken some runners down in the past and really ruined their runs.
Sorcerers and Mudgalls can cause problems. They come in large packs. Metal Slimes are in here.
Alright, Czar burning off encounters, but his first few steps have definitely shown that he is interested in getting his hands on some gear here. Bismarck finds runnable airs, a good find certainly, but they are hitting hard with Poison Touch.
Czar is going to start checking some chests. Bismarck skipped these. First floor Mirage Tower. Can he dig out a ribbon?
Right, Bismarck prepping for Tiamat right now.
Just a lot of money for Czar now. Bismarck initiating the fight with Tiamat 1.
Floor 1, Czar comes up empty, reset, starts over, dropping back in.
Tiamat gets initiative, fires Fire 2 at Bismarck. He's prepared for that. Bismarck ain't having it. The Bane Sword and Brack are ineffective though.
Yeah, and the defense sword definitely needs a little bit of help with Tempers, because it's hitting for 8 hits, 86 right now.
Czar fought the Chimeras, did not see the Blizzard, does not have that information. Brack from Bismarck on Tiamat now. Ineffective. How about the Bane Sword? No good for Biz.
Alright, vampires are packing some stun touch as well, so Czar not having a good time here with these vampires. They eat his black mage, they eat his red mage.
The Bane Sword and Poison Smoke from Bismarck takes out Tiamat. He's lit his 3rd orb now. He takes the lead in the orb count.
Yep, so breathes deep, and that's about the end of that, while Czar tried to run from vampires, and that's not the way to go.
Czar takes a step back now.
Right, well, Bismarck decides that it's time to bail out some armor here and buy himself some pro rings.
Bismarck does not have the information about the lobsters in the Sea Shrine. Czar does not have the information about the Chimeras here in Mirage and Sky Tower and the Temple of Fiends are visited.
And with all that information on both sides, the important thing is neither of them have a way to stop them from happening right now. Dragon armor will keep the knight safe and sound, and I believe the black shirt should keep the black wizard safe and sound if it's equipped. But I always forget which elemental and protections you get from the shirts. So
the black shirt will protect against the cold of Blizzard, the ice spells, and the time element.
Alright, and so Czar has decided that he's done messing around with these vampires, queues up a Fade and a Fire 3. Doesn't need to get either of them off because this time he escapes successfully.
Bismarck is in Gaia picking up his Oxiel. Looking to head to the Sea Shrine. Take out Kraken. Will he stop at the Mermaids at an hour and 15 in? I can't think that he'll find those riches there.
Nope. Ice Blue, of course, correcting, which is, amazing. But yes, so with the Dragon Armor, yes, stopping all three major elements, Fire, Ice, and Lightning. Black Shirt does stop Time Element, which is primarily Zap.
Zap, of course, being in the pool.
It also stops Stop.
It stops Stop. Ribbon! There it is.
Alright, look at him.
Greater than, less than. Czar has found at least one ribbon.
And the Aegis Shield.
Aegis Shield.
Oh my.
Hello, BM in chat. Where's the ribbon, my friend? Aegis Shield for Czar.
What a find. Puts it on the White Mage. He knows what's up. Life 2 charges are what get you through things. Finds a Ruby too, but that's way less exciting than a little piece of cloth.
I've got to think Czar is ready now. Bismarck does have a lead. He has entered the Sea Shrine and is already tearing through it.
Yep, he bent the Chimera Blizzard, so gets blasted for his troubles, but Czar steps away successfully.
Czar gets that information about the Chimeras now.
So, as everybody's noticed, and it's pretty easy to see, if things go the way they do, Czar is at a severe gear advantage. Up the Aegis Shield, up the Mazamune, up a ribbon. Just feeling good, and if anything, if Bismarck was go-moding Earth, he's up a Power Gauntlet as well.
Nothing in the Sharknado room for Biz. Looks like he's content with attempting to win this game and moving forward with his equipment now. The Marine talked about it. Large lead for Czar in equipment. He's continuing to check. Okay. Now, that large lead in equipment is somewhat neutralized by the progression lead of Bismarck at this point in time. It's a big difference as far as the equipment. I don't know if it's as big a difference for the lead that Biz has, but he definitely has a lead.
Yep, he's up the second half here of Sky in, whatever progress he's made in Sea Shrine. Czar is definitely digging a little bit for a second ribbon, but he decides to skip floor 3 here and march on, checks the greed room real quick, which we knew didn't have anything from before.
Czar wanted to warp back. He's gonna walk it though. He wanted to use a warp charge and go back. He wants a second ribbon. It's got to be the lobsters, I think. There it is.
Got it. There it is.
Okay.
Double ribbons in Sky. One in Mirage in floor 2, one here in Sky 3, and now, well, I think we're good. Are we good? Is it go mode?
We're gonna find out. I gotta certainly think that it is. Czar is a notorious over-preparer. He will tell you that. He'll be the first one to tell you that, and he will beat you to it, and he will tell you all about it. And so I certainly have no problems pointing that out, and I've got to think that he is over-prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, the Bismarck on the other side finds out that the lobsters are going to crack him open instead of the other way around, and he's going to burn off some Life 2 charges after his White Wizard makes a daring escape. And we're going to get another potential wave of cracks here coming out from these lobsters. It's the first ability in their list, and...
Look out. 3 down.
Oh boy.
Lightning 3 gets off from the one surviving Red Wizard, takes out the lobsters. Close call is correct.
Yep. Life is going to come out. Life 2 is going to come out thereafter, so going to keep the party moving and alive. But, again, burning off these resources. Czar finds the Paratouch Red Hydras, but they are very fixated on punching his knight right in the mouth, and the rest of the team gets away.
Czar gets through it. Now another crack from the lobsters. Down goes 1 warrior, down goes 2 warriors for Biz.
Just life charges getting spent left and right, just burning them off because you can't take them with you.
Oh, another 4 lobster encounter for Bismarck. Paralysis touch from the lobsters. Add that to the list. Zardia taking on Tiamat now. Tiamat leading off with Fire 2, just like he did against Bismarck. A fast, already, Power Gauntlet being used for Czar. He's going to try to make quick work of Tiamat here.
Yep, Sleep is going to bounce off of his party, which is great, so he's going to keep getting his buffs rolling. Gonna get his party buffed up, and start hacking away. 8 for 528 along with the 168 swing from the Red Wizard, not enough, but we're probably a turn away from Tiamat going away. Kraken just split open a White Mage. Remember, Kraken goes low, knows how to aim for White Mages, it's the literal worst. And has Stun Touch on top of it.
Paralysis Touch. Doesn't matter though, Bismarck takes out Kraken. He steps away now, lights his 4th orb for Bismarck now.
No ribbons, but, you know, Defense Sword, Fast, Temper, White Shirt, Black Shirt. Decent buffing spells, has access to Fog 2 as well. You know, we got to think that he's going to go in at this point in time, but he's got to be a little worried about that water floor. He's got to be a little bit worried about that earth floor. You know, that things are going to chew through his spell charges pretty quickly. Excuse me, Grey Worms on the fire floor. I apologize.
Czar heading to the Sea Shrine now. He's got the information about the lobsters. He's prepared for it. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, Bismarck is in his airship. Maybe a little bit of shopping before the Temple of Fiends are visited.
Yep, gonna stock up, make sure he's got the spells that he needs. It looks like he's gonna be this fly for Elfland. Yeah, so fly to Elfland. Right, Trolls with Crack take out the Knight, but of course the ribbons do their job pretty well, and 2 fighters are definitely going to hold, and a 3rd stands up as well. Smugzug asks that there's no ribbons for Bismarck yet. Nope, not a single one. There were 2 in Sky, 1 in Mirage, 2nd floor, greater than lesser room, and 1 on the 4th floor, or 3rd floor north of Sky for Zardia at this point. Zardia also has the Masamune from his dip into the Mermaids, along with the Adamant for the Excalibur.
Nearing the 1 hour 22 minute mark, we're going to call it 1 hour 22 minutes. Bismarck, with his 4 orbs lit, has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Sans endgame weapons, except the Defense Sword, without ribbons. His last shot, more than likely, is the Validation Chest. We know there's only 1 available out in the world somewhere.
Alright, but Bismarck is definitely in go mode here. Runs up on Phantom, who, you know, hits him for 105 and then gets run from. Validation chests have some real estate. We got a house and a cabin. Czar not terribly interested in any encounters either here. Definitely not interested in crack lobsters.
1 dungeon lead for Bismarck. Heavy equipment lead for Zardia. Unrunnable purple worms Bismarck runs into.
Alright, Crack swallows up the Black Wizard, just gets rezzed up, you know, ready to go for another run. I mean, unrunnable worms are not the worst thing to find, certainly. Those are good experience points. Gonna push over one of his characters to level 20.
Level 20. There's the Chimeras we talked about. They are runnable. Right off the bat, the Blizzard skill doing a dent into Biz now.
Right, flips over with the Bane Sword, drops 2 of them with Poison Smoke, and then runs away. Knight gets cracked. Nothing to worry about at this point, though. Red Wizard can't go down to this with the ribbon. You know, the odds are with him at this point, but ZaRNG has been known to strike sometimes.
2 ribbons, both on the Light Warriors with life. Zardia's well prepared. This is his experience. Meanwhile, the Earth floor for Bismarck. He reaches unrunnable green Medusas. On the next floor, we know that Grey Worms are unrunnable. They have a spell and skill list as well.
Yeah, and they're leading off with Stone Poison, too, in their slot 1, so that could get nasty in a hurry if you didn't buy extra soft potions for prep work before you went down here.
Zardia about halfway through the final water floor of Kraken. This gave Bismarck a lot of problems, and speaking of problems, there's the lobsters again.
Right, gonna try to set up some Lightning 3 charges here. First one whiffs on everybody, though. Misses all 4 Light Warriors, which is what you want to see. Green Medusas for Bismarck, unrunnable. Not the worst unrunnable, though. They go down pretty quickly. Gonna just raise some items above his head and be fine.
More unrunnable Green Medusas for Bismarck. If you're gonna get unrunnables on the... Green Medusas is probably the best one to get, I would think.
Yep, they're fragile. The only thing is if they have a touch attack, they can be incredibly dangerous, but you've got to be sure about what you're doing. Edge Figaro makes a good point that those mages are running a little low on health right now, and with no ribbons, all of a sudden, Chimeras come in, something that you don't know. Earth Elementals, we have no idea what they're packing right now on the Earth floor.
Right, Earth Elementals is the first that came to mind, considering Bismarck, I don't believe, has seen them. He did not check any of the chests in Earth Cave that are Earth guarded. Zardia did. He's got information about their runability, and certainly had at least one encounter with them.
Yeah, I mean, he dropped it with the Matsmu in 1 turn, so he didn't get a ton of information, but you only need 1 turn of information for most generics, honestly.
Bismarck healing up, winding his way through the water floor. There's the Earths, and they ambush him. We just talked about them. Meanwhile, Zardia, looking to light his 4th orb, initiates the fight with Kraken 1.
Bismarck walks away from those Earth Elementals, and he's setting up to fight Lich 2. Zardia is getting a wave of buffs off the start again. Bismarck goes with Plan A, which is never respect Lich 2. Just throws a white shirt and 3 melee attacks.
Lich not going to put up too much of a fight. It looks like he's not hitting very hard. He's got some absorb, though.
Kraken 1, doing what Kraken 1 does, again, goes low, finds the White Mage. But then Counter Swing is 8 for 800, again, making Kraken pay for killing the White Mage. Don't kill the White Mage, please.
Zardia not having any of it from Kraken here. Lights his 3rd orb. He's got 4 orbs now.
Alright, he is ready to rock. I mean, the way his gear is laid out, he's got a full stash of health potions, he's got 7 softs, 21 cures. Should be feeling pretty good with those 2 ribbons. I don't see him doing anything else but diving at this point.
I didn't see anything. I didn't catch anything from Lich 1. If he had been to have anything. We have not seen Warmax, so we have very little information about the spell pool for the Revisited Fiends.
Yep, Lich 2 went down really quickly. Bismarck is me up to 2nd Fiend carry 2, while Czar parks his airship, saves 1 more time, and he gets ready to go in.
1 hour, we're going to call it 1 hour, 27 minutes now for Czar to enter the Temple of Visited. He's a lot more prepared. I mean, a lot more prepared, but he's 5 minutes behind Bismarck, who is now fighting carry 2.
Got a lot of time to make up here, but he's got a good chunk of the encounter table here to start. No Badmen, no Chimeras, no Gas Dragons. Just wanders through this first floor like it's not even there, and just takes a moment to step away from Phantom, who is not doing a good job of guarding that door.
Subtle move by Zardia, manipulating the encounter table. Look at this run. He's already nearing being only 3 floors behind Bismarck, and he entered 5 minutes. Look at what he's doing. Anyone new to this game, or anyone that plays this game, look at what Zardia just did. He's now 1 floor behind Bismarck. Bismarck's been here for 5 minutes.
That was a beautiful setup for a beautiful hero run. Bismarck is trying to save resources here because he knows he's going to need those life charges soon. He knows he's going to need those spell charges for Kraken. He's trying to take carry out with Fire 3, Fade, and lightly buffed swings and Zeus Gauntlet uses.
Zardia absolutely blazing through this. He's almost to Lich 2 already.
I mean, going slow on any Fiend is a dangerous strat because, remember, 4 nuclears, 2 nukes, Swirl, Tornado, all out there in the pool, and oh boy, I spoke too soon. Here it comes. Nuclear
skill from carry 2. Decimates Bismarck. His 2 red wizards are down. Fire 3. Oh, and the white wizard survives and gets the cure 4 off, though.
I mean, Bismarck is currently swinging for 44, though. He's going to have to burn these fade charges. He's got to get through carry at this point because just shredded his party with nuclear, 2 hits, 110 critical. This is the difference between a defense sword in the endgame and a sword with a really high crit rate in the endgame.
45 damage from Bismarck. Lightning 2 now from carry.
Gotta heal that fighter. Gotta keep the knight alive here. Ink is a blank, but finally gets her down with a swing for 23.
Bismarck squeaked through that one, Demerin.
That was hard to watch. All that lead just evaporating to that hero run and that brutal carry fight. Lich casting fast on turn 1. Czar is just he's got a fasted knight and a Mazamune Red Wizard. So goodbye, Lich. It's been nice. No one cares.
Bismarck's on the move now. He runs directly through from Carry 2 all the way to Kraken 2.
If there was a place to have the hero run, this was the place, as he avoids Crack Lobsters, which could have drained out all of his spell charges getting down here.
Oh,
perfect timing on that.
Czar's through. One floor behind. Down goes the Red Wizard to zap.
Ooh, firing off some of those instant spells. Start burning those resources, I think, is the serious thing here. You gotta use them up. Temper coming out, Fast coming out, Kraken swinging, but the white shirt protects from a lot. 293 crit with that 8-hit sword from the defense sword swing.
Evasion doing its job against Kraken 2 now. Red Giant slowing Zardia down.
Another crit for 300. Red Wizard got stunned and stood right back up. Gonna keep stacking that temper. White shirt use goes out. One more swing, 132, but with all that evasion, Kraken can't find the mark against the knight, and we've got more spells coming out.
Zardia initiating the Carry 2 fight in just a moment now. Bismarck figuring out how to take out this fiend. Fighting Kraken 2 very well here. Down goes Kraken 2 for Biz now.
He's holding a slight lead still. You know, Zardia is hard charging, though, with this Mazamune, and he's not messing around on these fights. It's a power bonk, it's a fast, it's a temper, it's a knight going crazy right off the bat.
1 hour, 31 minutes. Tie him at 2 now for Biz.
Yep.
Running a little bit low on spell charges, trying to figure out what it is that he's going to do.
I mean, he gets the fast up knight, gets hit for 176, which is not a ton. Edge Figurasta's knight have wall? It should. And Bismarck hiding behind that defense sword, getting the evasion layers up on that knight, making sure the knight can get clean out of the way of any problems. First swing is for 112. Tiamat
damage! Poison! No ribbons for Bismarck now. Look out!
Alright, that takes out about 2/3 of his party's health in one shot.
This is pivotal for Bismarck. This round right here could make it, could break it. Turn order is going to be important. Cure 4, Biz gets off.
Right, Czar's team survives the nuclear from Carry, and again, backswing 601 on the crit on the return, and Tiamat casts Blaze, burns down one red mage. Oh boy, it's getting really tight for Bismarck here.
The white shirt on the White Wizard protects from heat. It saved, potentially, Bismarck from that blaze.
Alright, Czar finding encounters now, trying to run from some waters to start off. Again, Bismarck's offense starting to sort of sputter a little bit here. 4 for 213 from the defense sword. Not a lot of layers of it. Tiamat casts Crack.
Still got 2 warriors, though.
More importantly, the White Wizard is still alive. Gonna burn a Fade charge here. Out comes Tornado, but the 6,284 crit is gonna be enough.
That's enough!
Oof.
Bismarck still making this happen. He is not out of this yet. He does not have the gear, but he just keeps fighting, and he keeps winning. He steps away from chaos now.
Yeah.
He's made it.
Some good bounces here. Great hero run. Crack does not swallow the White Wizard at the end there, and now he's standing in front of chaos. Moments away, potentially, from taking this seed about as undergeared as I've seen somebody take out a Temple of Fiends.
Czar nearing the halfway mark of the water floor now. He's behind Bismarck. Right now it is Bismarck's game to win. Can he move on to the play-in race? Here we go. Bismarck versus Chaos.
Alright, gets his full defensive complement off. He gets off a wall. Gonna fast and temper the knight. Use the defense sword. Not worried about everyone else's evasion at this point.
Chaos with 141 against the knight. Biz has got to be satisfied with that. Wall on the Red Wizard. Now a wall on the knight. Temper and fast again on the knight.
Chaos, we find he's got a touch attack, but it's only poison touch, which is not the worst one to find.
Bismarck is setting up this fight well. 2 walls out. Make it 3 walls. He doesn't have any ribbons. He's protecting himself. Chaos toying with Bismarck now. Ice 2. 6 hits from the defense sword, putting a dent into Chaos. Zardia being slowed down a little bit on the water floor now.
He's going to pull up to Kraken 2 in just a moment, though. There's the last Fade Charge coming out from the White Wizard, because, again, can't spend it when you're dead.
144 from that Fade Charge. Here comes the defense sword. 4 hits for 210. Chaos goes for a melee attack and misses. It's a free round for Bismarck.
If there's anything you want to see Chaos doing at this point, it's swinging. That's it.
267 from the Knight. Bismarck getting closer and closer to trying to win this match. Another temper from Bismarck after using a Cure 4 on the Red Wizard.
Fade Charge is coming out from the Red Wizard. White Wizard's pretty tapped at this point in time. Gonna cast Cure 3.
Bismarck is attacking Chaos now. Chaos fires another Ice 2. Tame Chaos so far. Here comes a Fade from Biz. 184. How about another one? Take this, Chaos, for 85. How about the defense sword? 4 hits for 486. The black shirt. How about another Fade Chaos for 99? Another one from Bismarck. 92. The defense sword, 4 hits, 408 damage. Bismarck attacking Chaos now. Nah, not today, Chaos. The defense sword from Bismarck takes down Chaos. Congratulations, we have a winner. Bismarck finishes in first place with an official SRL time, 1 hour, 35 minutes, 30 seconds. Chats, get out your GGs. This man earned it, no ribbons. The defense sword, Demerin, he made it happen.
I mean, that hero run, like, we saw Czar get it early, but the way Bismarck had it lined up, I guess, Bismarck got it when he needed it most because he was able to see 0 lobsters on his run. So no worries about his Light Warriors falling into holes, no worries about his team dying. He survives the nuclear, but barely. He survives a crack from Tiamat, but barely. He survives a zap, but barely. But he holds it all together. Chaos rolls over pretty easily at that point. What a run. Nice finish. Great bounces, certainly, but he made it work.
Yeah, he made a decision early to go mode. He started running. Ultimately, it worked out for him. Kudos to Bismarck. He had no fear. He made the decision early. He went for it. He went the defense sword. He got some good turn order. He made some really good decisions, some timely Cure 4s. A great run through the water floor. He had to be feeling almost invincible running through that water floor and go in, take out Kraken, take out Tiamat, and then win the game by taking out the Ultimate Fiend Chaos.
Yeah, long run down there. With the early wall spell, with the inexpensive wall spell, he was able to make it work. Czar is going to patch up after getting blazed down by Tiamat pretty heavily and gets his team back on their feet. Looks like he's going to try and finish out strong at this point in time. Alright, and so Czar is going to get one more encounter along the way, it looks like, at this point in time. But he makes it to Chaos's floor just fine, and he's going to give us a finish here, which is, of course, all you want to see.
We're going to try to get Bismarck in here to join us in the booth to talk about this match.
Alright, so buff stacking up, fast on Red Wizard, fast on Knight. I'm gonna start stacking up, looks like Power Gauntlet as well. No Black Wizard for the rest of this fight, though. Right, so Czar is all set now, 3 turns in, got his tempers around, power bomb usage, defense sword on the Knight. Ribbons are holding strong. White Wizard doesn't have much to do because he had to burn off a lot of resources getting through those lobsters at this point, so just using up what he's got. Gonna keep using that heal staff.
Power Gauntlet being used by Zardia. Trying to
Is
keep his HP high.
Is Czar going to try to set up the one-shot kill on Chaos? Going to just do the one swing here?
I like it. I think it's a good idea. Go ahead and end this with a big swipe from the Mazmoon. How about a Bane Sword? Yeah, why not? Or is that Excalibur? Looks like he's got the Excalibur actually on the knight.
Yeah, the Red Wizard had the Red Wizard was packing the Mazmoon.
Bismarck has joined us in the booth. It'll be one moment, Bismarck.
Sorry, what?
Czar is taking on Chaos as we speak, trying to finish this out. Another Bane attack is ineffective.
I knew he wouldn't be far behind me. There's no way he was going to be far behind me.
No, he was about 5 minutes behind you, and he, I think, is about to remain that way, just taking some more hacks at Chaos here, just trying to finish strong.
Cool.
460 from Czar into Chaos now. Chaos is on the ropes. There's no question about that. Here's another Bane shot from Czar. No good.
So, sorry about the delay. I had to go give my wifey a kiss and then use the bathroom and get something to drink. So
Lightning 2 from Chaos now. 219. Czar's definitely got Chaos on the ropes. Fires another Bane that's ineffective. 255. Still not enough from Zardia now.
Just coming right down to the wire here, but there goes Chaos down for Czar as well. That 5-minute lead holds up all the way for Bismarck. Final time for Czar, 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 33 seconds. Of course, now I guess we should give the stage to you, Bismarck. GG. Great run. Very thin on gear. What was your mindset going down in this run with such, no ribbons, just the dragon armor?
Don't waste my life 2 charges when I can use wall on Chaos. That was the plan from the moment I walked in when I didn't find anything in the free chest and I didn't find anything in the crown chest. That was my plan.
Biz, it's Will. Congratulations. Good game.
Thank you.
Move to 3 and 2. I want to ask you about the Red Hydra fight in the
Holy
Fortress.
Crapola.
Tell us about it, please.
I kind of just sat here and stared at the screen, and I was like, well, it's got to end sometime. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't about to reset out, especially when I had that super long run at the beginning. I mean, I guess I would have gotten it back, but, I didn't want to take a chance of, it ending on the bridge or something, and then I get the 13, encounters right out of the gate on the bridge. I don't know. That was wild. Those Hydras were mean. And so were the lobsters. Holy smokes.
Yes.
I don't know how I didn't wipe to them. I mean, they cracked me about 300 times.
You were able to use your life spells there. Fortunately, you went to the Sea Shrine and towards Kraken later on in the game. Zardia went there earlier, ran into the lobsters, got out of there, and went there last. Your routing led you there last.
Yeah, that was kind of part of the plan. I was going to do earth and fire. I always do earth and fire first, one or the other first, and then there's no reason to do water or sky unless you're chest hunting.
Without ribbons and without really the Cadillac of endgame swords and weapons, it seemed to us that you decided to jump into go mode fairly early.
I did.
What made you make that decision, and when did you exactly make it?
The moment I didn't get bridge from Sarah or the Kink. I only did the crown chest because it was so slim on gear. If I had gotten the Masamune and probably a 1 ribbon, I probably wouldn't have even touched the crown chest. I was basically in go mode from Jump Street. And you can ask Ice Blue that. I told him just as much before the race started that I was fully planning on going into Temple of Fiends Revisited at level 18 if I had to. Because I know who I'm racing, and I know what he's capable of, and he does have the RNG factor that works against him sometimes, but when he's on, he's a hard man to beat, and so I actually said before the race that if I lost to a wipe on Chaos, I wouldn't be heartbroken over it, because at least I got there first.
Biz, you entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited at the 1 hour 22 mark. Your opponent, Zardia, entered at the 1 hour 27 minute mark. You were able to finish at 1 hour 35, Zardia at 140. So you were able to hold and maintain that 5-minute lead that you had given the gear shortage. And speaking of your opponent, Zardia, are you with us?
I believe so.
Zar,
GG,
you went.
Zardia.
GG, Biz. Well played.
Thank you, sir.
Zardia, you made a mermaid dive fairly early. Paid off for you.
Yeah, and then the other side of it didn't pay off.
Yeah, it looked like your plan was going to be to take that Masamune and just try and rip open Z Shrine really quickly with your Lightning 3 charges and your Masamune. But the Crack Lobsters had other plans for you. Did that sort of factor in your decision to dive those chests in Mirage and Sky to try and find some ribbons and get yourself some protection from water floor?
Absolutely. I was hunting for ribbons for the longest time. Couldn't find any until, I believe, Mirage and Sky. And, of course, steps away from the first ribbon chest, Vampire Ambush, and we wipe. So, I mean, what can I say, y'all?
This was definitely a battle of lead and progression and an early go mode versus a quick grind on the Agamas to get a couple levels and a great set of equipment with the Power Gauntlet. Asmoon, the Adamant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Bonk was in
there
the
loaded
back.
for bear.
Bonk was on the back side of Volcano. It was in the 5 chest room on the left side of the lower chest floor.
Well, I mean, I think I checked. The only real chests that I checked out of the way were the crown and then the armory and the Grey Worm 5 chests up in Volcano.
Yeah,
and that was it.
You made a short hop to you made a short hop through Titan's Tunnel for the chest there. I think you were just trying to put together. You were trying to put together the money for your crown at that point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I kept checking to see how much I had, and then I knew I had the heal helmet and the what was it, flame armor, ice armor, something like that.
Yep, one of the armors that sells decently well usually.
Yes. So I knew that I should have enough to get through. So that was the thought process.
How about those Paratouch waters, huh? They cost me time. Man, I must have had 7 of those encounters on the water floor.
Did I see waters? I don't think I did.
You did not see a single water encounter. So the timing of the hero run was really interesting at the end here. Because you had the hero run right at the start of Temple of Fiends Revisited. So you avoided the Chimeras that were packing Blizzard. You avoided the Grey Worms that were packing Stone Poison. While Bismarck had to sort of work his way through those to start. He ran with the Chimera packs a couple of times. But then Bismarck's hero run came online. And you know where Bismarck's hero run came online? Right after Carry 2.
Yeah, I don't think I fought anything on the water floor, did I?
You had 0 encounters on the water floor. You followed that up with 0 encounters on the air floor.
I had a feeling because I think I went the very beginning, like the first room and a half of Temple of Fiends without anything, and I knew that was the back end of that hero run. So I figured, I was hoping, I didn't know if I would, I couldn't remember exactly where it was in the encounter table. I was hoping it would get me through most of, not all water floors since I didn't have any ribbons. And with the Crack Lobsters, I was petrified of going through it again.
Yeah, one ambush could have ended your run, but that timing was just perfect.
Seems you had a lot of good luck, Bismarck. Well played.
I kind of did. You should have saw me in what was it, Water 4? Whatever Kraken's 4 is. I honestly God don't know how I got through it. It was like every race, or every battle was lobsters. Every single time they cracked everybody but one person. It was either one of the red mages or the white mage. But thank you. I do appreciate that.
Zardia, it's Will. I wanted to ask you about the opal bracelet. I believe it was in the armory. You elected not to go back and grab that after you redove, after taking out Carrie into the volcano. We think you were looking for a ribbon at that point. Were you in ribbon only mode and decide to pass in the opal bracelet?
Absolutely. I'd already wiped at the Sea Shrine, and I know that cost me time. I had to try and save all the time I could. There was no way I was going back for it. I was just desperate for that ribbon. Oh, man. Sans those wipes, I think I could have contended here, but it just was not meant to be.
Well, they asked me when I decided to go in go mode, and I told them out of the gate. Once I saw that the bridge wasn't in Sarah or the King's hands, I knew I was in go mode because I know who I was going against, and I wasn't about to. I figured if I had wiped on Chaos because I was under-leveled, I would be okay with it. At least I got the Chaos before you. That was the only thing I wanted to accomplish in this race, and hope I got lucky. So, for what it's worth, I don't know if that makes you feel any better or worse or whatever, but I did that because I knew I was going against you.
I just feel that I'm going to have to join Poogle in her quest against vampires. I mean, I cannot believe we wiped there. Just steps away. I knew there was going to be a ribbon in there as soon as I got ambushed by the vampires. And no initiatives, can't run. The game just said no. And between the lobster wipe and the vampire wipe, I'm sure I lost over 5 minutes.
What did the vampires have? I mean, other than hitting really hard.
They had Paratouch as well, so they were stunning Czar's
Oh,
team.
did they?
Yeah.
Did you see the red hydras?
Never had any problems with those.
I spent what do you think, guys? At least 3 or 4 minutes just in a paralock.
Yeah.
And I brain farted, and I was. My wife had yelled at me, so I didn't realize that 2 of my party members were dead when I got into that fight. So I went in with 2 people and just sat there for 3 or 4 minutes, stunned.
Yeah, it was a hard spot because you were up in Sky Temp, you were up in Sky, so you couldn't just reset out.
Yeah, I was on the robot floor. That was painful. I was like, well, we'll see what happens.
26 ambushes didn't help either. That was a ridiculous number of ambushes.
I have no idea what I had. I don't know if anybody saw. I know I had a lot, but I don't think it was 26.
Congratulations to our winner tonight, Bismark 189.
Thank
Moves on to 3 and 2, qualifies for the play-in race. Zardia falls to 2 and 3. Hopefully he can join me on commentary, maybe Demarine on commentary coming up here real soon. We'd like to remind you that right now on Speed Gaming Prime, a link to the past randomizer is airing. I'm going to head over there after the show myself. Also on Speed Gaming 2, DKC Tropical Freeze is airing. That's over on Speed Gaming 2. And here for Final Fantasy Randomizer, our next match right here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. Demarine, is that you? Saturday, June 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, I am. I've got a matchup against somebody who I know I've shouted out a lot and I've talked about a lot, but that'll be my matchup against Split Punch, the teacher and the student going at it on Saturday afternoon.
Teacher versus student, 3 p.m. Saturday, June 30th. Split Punch versus Demarine. I'm going to be there. It's going to be great. Our next matchup here in the 5th round of the Swiss 2018 Spring Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament is going to be on our sister broadcast partner, Randomania. That is tomorrow, June 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Battle of 3 and 1s. It's going to be a barn burner. Ikben Maya versus Forzanda over on Randomania.
Of course, just, throw these 2 runners a follow. They gave us a great show tonight, a great run from both of these fine runners. Follow Will Cleosis on Twitch as well. Demon Frog running our tracker tonight. Of course, thank you again, Cyclone, and the Speed Gaming Network for hosting us tonight. Cyclone mentioning there may be some surprise matchups showing up too, so keep your eyes out for changes to the schedule, because all these matches we've got to get through. We've got a lot of runners looking to push in 2 and 2, trying to make it still to the play-in round, 3 and 1, trying to avoid that extra match and get a little bit of extra practice time, hopefully.
Our winner tonight, Bismark 189. Once again, GG's and congratulations. Any final thoughts on your match tonight?
I'm sorry that you got knocked out of the tournament, Czar, because I think you're the guy I watched when I got into this. I was one of your races, so I feel really bad about it. Only to the point where, to a point, I really wanted to win. But thank you, everybody, for having me. And as always, Hokey, Hokey, Hokey High, Ray, Ra, VPI, Solar Rex, Solar Ra, Polytech, Virginia, Ray, Ra, VPI!
Nice.
That was good. Zardia.
We got a lot of hype building up for the bracket stages and the play-in race. There's going to be some surprise announcements. There's a new poll up. Go and vote in that. As for my elimination from the tournament, I don't know, everyone. I think I played pretty well in all my rounds. I don't think I could have done much better. As we all know, the game has it out for me. So no shame, and don't feel bad about it, Bismarck. No shame in my play throughout this tournament. I think I did pretty well.
Thank you. I think you did too. That's why I did what I did. I was scared of you.
I can't speak for Demarine as well, but I was very nervous in my matchup with Zardia as being my first tournament match, and it's certainly an honor to play Czar. And with everything that he does for the community, we're all certainly very thankful. I don't think he gets enough thanks, but we certainly hope that he does know that we mean it. With everything that he does, it is an absolute honor to play Czar and just to be really in this community. Demarine, any final thoughts on tonight's match?
An absolutely excellent match for sure. You know, routing, decisions, thought processes. Hopefully a lot of people who've been watching picked up some tips there. Bismark showing the real limits of what you can do a lot of the time. In a fairly slow airship seed, a little bit of a slow start, but once he got rolling, he really got that ball rolling, so it's a good thing to see. Zardy, of course, putting on a show again. His love for the game is infectious without a doubt, always a pleasure. But that's about that for now, it looks like. Again, thank you all for supporting our little community, coming out and watching this race today.
Again, our next matchup here on Speed Gaming for Final Fantasy Randomizer in Stage 5 here of the Swiss Flags. It is Saturday, June 30th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Demarine, we just heard from her, versus Split Punch. Teacher versus Student. I can't wait to see it. After that, Sunday, July 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Very, very important matchup. It's a pair-down match. 2-2 Wilkliosis versus 3-1 Lord Fizzlebeef. If Will can win that game, he'll move on to the play-in race. Lord Fizzlebeef already in the playoff race. If he wins that game, he's going to move on, because to skip the playoff race moves to 4-1. Both players definitely want that. I've talked to both of them. Both wonderful players. Can't wait to see that matchup Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Speed Gaming. Right now, Speed Gaming Prime, a link to the past Randomizer. I'm headed over there to watch that. My name is Will Cleosis for Demarine 2, our tracker, Demon Frog 1983, and all the Speed Gaming community. Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening.